I think we've been able to help you lose your bitterness and to find another way of looking at organized society. Sometimes we succeed, and sometimes we fail.
Invisible Stripes was a 1939 black and white crime movie starring George Raft, William Holden, and Humphrey Bogart. It was a great selection of actors in a very entertaining story, a little predictable, yet very enjoyable crime film. And the story is straightforward enough. George Raft plays this character, Cliff Taylor, who has just finished serving time in prison. And he's just about to be released at the same time as Humphrey Bogart's character, a guy named Chuck. And both are released. And before leaving, Cliff has this meeting with the warden, who kind of gives him this encouraging message to try to get his life in order and stay straight and keep away from crime. And to his credit, Cliff will try. Now, he has this conversation on a train as he's leaving with Chuck. That's Bogart's character. And this Chuck is cynical. He knows he's going to get caught again. He doesn't care. He's going to go right back to crime. But Cliff is going to try and make his life right. And the story initially focuses mostly on him. And he goes home, meets with his mother, and also meets with his brother Tim, who is played by William Holden, with his pants hiked really high.
Tim, I can't start to tell you. Oh. Maybe Ma was right about my not knowing what to say. I felt kind of foolish.
So Tim is still going steady with his girlfriend, but Cliff's girlfriend, being a little less than understanding, up and drops him. And I did think that was interesting that we have this character, Cliff, who really has no understanding love interest to kind of help support and motivate him through the film. But rather, he just gets dumped right at the beginning of the story. Undeterred, though, he goes off and tries to find work. But what he finds is that as an ex-con, the jobs that he finds, either he starts working and they're quick to let him go because he can't drive, or he works at another shop where the guys he works with, they don't want to work with an ex-con, so they make a big fuss about that and he gets fired. And that's sort of the big message of the film here, the challenge of criminals who they've served their time, they've reformed, and they just want to reacclimate into society. They want to work, but it's not as easy as it should be. And I thought that was a really good message here. And, you know, we do see that Cliff eventually finds a job that involves working at a place with a bunch of these other young kids, but that only lasts for so long. And eventually he turns to a life of crime again. So he meets up with the character Chuck, Bogart's character, and decides crime is his best option. You kind of knew that was going to happen in this film.
Anything I can do to help you? Anything you want?
I'm not after a handout.
Just come up to say hello, huh?
You know why I came.
You found out I was right.
So once he joins up with Chuck in his criminal organization, well, he starts doing pretty well financially. He starts to do the dressing sharply thing, you know, the suit and fedoras. And he's able to finance his brother Tim's garage. Things are going well for him and all. But then he wants to get out of this organization, and that's getting towards the end of the film, and that's when things really start to pick up and go south. It's an exciting end to the film. I'm not going to give much more. I'll let you check this one out. But I thought this was a satisfying, if a little bit predictable film. It's well produced and well acted. And I always find these 1930s black and white gangster films to be just so entertaining, you know, with those suits, the fedoras, and the crime and so on, and just kind of that window into that old world of gangster life from long, long ago. And I also note it was really cool to see the actor Leo Gorcey briefly. He was one of the kids from the movie Angels with Dirty Faces with James Cagney. He's briefly in this film. So this is a decent crime film. It's one with a message, and it's one worth checking out.
If you can swallow that guff to darken a warden handout, but not me. I've been out before. You think changing your uniform means anything? You'll still be wearing stripes.